Hi guys, Squirrel here, and welcome to a TramSim video. This one we're going to be covering the Depot Vienna DLC, which is one of the newer DLCs. It's a bit of a weird DLC, this one, since it kind of technically adds onto the map, but it's a standalone DLC. It almost feels like this should come free with the base game, but it's a, I think, $8.99, £9 add-on. It's like $11, $12, something. I mean, it's quite detailed, don't get me wrong, but it is at the end of the day a depot for £9. But it does come to some missions. So anyway, what is this? This is the main depot in Vienna. It's in southern Vienna, I think. And it's 150 years old. It's really old, this thing. Goes right the way back. There are 5 holes in total, although I think one of them may have got damaged in World War II, something like that. So there's hole 1, you can see Hella 1. 2 is there. I think that might be 3. I'm not sure where 4 and 5 are located. Maybe that's one of them. There's lots to do here. There's, I mean, it's all very detailed modeled. Like, apparently it's modeled on how it really is. I've not been there, but it certainly looks pretty authentic to me. It's very well laid out, very detailed. And there's some, you can see here, tram washes, which we're going to do. We're going to do a mission. There are startup and shutdown missions. You can also use this as a starting point for your tram journey through Vienna if you want to. But what I'm going to do is to keep this video timely and to show you some of the stuff you can do, is show you the shunting mission. The shunting mission will have us start up the tram from cold, so you'll see that. And also we're going to shunt it out of here, which is interesting to say the least. It certainly caused me a bit of grief trying to work it out. So if you are trying to do this for yourself, you can also use this video to kind of look back and see how to do it. We'll take this tram out, which is really filthy. We'll reverse it out of here, then we'll take it over to one of the holes, get it jet washed and cleaned, and then put it away, and that's the shunting mission. So let's jump in. It is kind of an interesting video. You can see how filthy this thing is. It is there. So I think at the end of a mission, you can come in and get your thing washed and park it all up. But those missions, startup and shutdown missions, are like an hour long. Let me just press H to get my cursor back so I can see what I'm doing. Right, so yeah, you open the door with the secret driver thing there, then you click on here to get in. We'll be using this in a minute, which allows us to move the points on the tracks. Press E to jump into your seat. And then on this particular tram, the startup procedure goes something like this. So you click and put your key in, and then you move it into position 1, which you do by holding the mouse button and then pushing your mouse to the right, which turns it clockwise. And then you wait. And this is the important thing. You wait. You don't do anything. You wait for this. See this light here? This system's booting up. The IBIS system's booting up. This is booting up. You'll hear a clunking sound, and then that light will stop, and that's your cue that you can carry on with the rest of the startup procedure. Don't do anything. You hear that click? Right, and that light's gone. So don't do anything until you hear that, and the light's gone out. Then you move this to position 2, like that, and then you move this into VA, like so. And the last thing you do is put the pantograph up, which you can do, I think the O key by default. I mapped it to P. I don't like it being on O. But you can just click that. That puts the pantograph up. And that's the startup procedure done. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because it says push the train out of the hall and drive it forward to the break point. Now, I'm not sure if this is a translation issue, but break point, I'm thinking should be spelt break as in B-R-A-K-E, as in the brakes. Breaking point? I don't know. Maybe they call it the break point. Whatever. I must admit, I struggled with this one for a little while, trying to figure out how to reverse this tram, because it's not obvious, and it's not really in the guides either. So what you need to do, you need to first of all effectively undo some of what we just did. So we'll put that back into 0, and we'll put that back into A, and we'll click on it to remove our key, and all that mysteriously stays on because of the pantograph. And then we shall close the doors, pressing the red key here, and then we'll leg it to the back of the tram, where we have our special shunting operation control panel. Yes, this little secret compartment. Look at this. I thought this was just for the driver sandwiches, but apparently not. So what you do now is you put your key, you click that, and then you hold it clockwise to engage. And this is where it also gets fun, because again, this is not in the manual, because the manual doesn't really exist, and it's not in the online help down here either. It doesn't tell you how to do this stuff. It just tells you basic startup, but not actually how to reverse the tram. So what you need to do, you need to hold this here with the mouse, and whilst holding that down, I've got my mouse held down, Then you move this by pressing the Q key. Like that. That's totally obvious. This is how you reverse a tram control panel. Anyway, so we're on the move. You can actually press Q again. And then press A just to go back to neutral. I think the reverser key is mapped to Y. So I've got mine QA and Z. I don't use the Y key. That's just weird. So I use QA and then Z to reverse the reverser. You see what I mean? Anyway, this guy over here is going to whistle when we've reached the point where we're supposed to stop, which is there. You should have allowed whistle. Do your job, Jeff. Also, we need to watch out for traffic, so we just need to make sure we don't drive into anything. Nothing coming, so we got lucky. So get ready to slow down, and we press, well, for me, the Z key, then the A. There we go. It's a goal! Fantastic. Alright, now we can let go of this thing. And this is the bit that I often get wrong. It's the position that you need to have this thing in. I press the A key, it puts it there. But I've got a feeling it needs to be in that position. Which I did by pressing Z, but for you that might be Y by default. Anyway, it'll tell you if we got it wrong, because when we try to take the key out of here, like so, if you got it wrong, you'll get a pop-up message saying put it in position B1, which is what that is, I think. Click. How obvious was that? So now we go back to the front. And jump in the cab, like so. And then we can put our key back in. Put it straight into position 2. Put that straight into VA. Make sure the pantograph is up, which it should still be. And we should be able to now press the Q key. There we go. Now, if you start getting bleepings and warnings and stuff, the chances are that you didn't put that back into 0, which is something I've figured out. Put it back into 0 before you take your key back out, and then put it back into VA afterwards, and you should be okay. Otherwise, this thing goes a bit doolally and beeps at you, and you've no idea what you've done wrong. Yes, that also took me a while to figure out. None of this is in the manual. This is the weird thing. It's like I had a look in the Steam installation folder for a detailed manual for this tram, and I couldn't find one. Maybe it's all online. But anyway, for £9 for this DLC, it doesn't really help you enough either. I think there should be a bit more hand-holding if you need it on this stuff, how to reverse this tram and things like this. So that's basic shunting, right? I should probably be going like 5Ks, not 8, but whatever. Let's try and get through this. Right, I think we're reversing into one of these here, but what we're going to do is we're going to drive the tram over to this worker, and then he's probably going to say to us, do you want me to set the points, or do you want to set them yourself? And we're going to do it ourselves because it's more fun. Let's get ready to brake. So we're just coasting in neutral by pressing the A key, and then we'll press Z now. There we go. There you go. Right. Pull the car into hole 1, track 8. Shall I set the switches for you so you just have to push back? I want to set the switches myself. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, got it. Now, we are going to need to reshunt this backwards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that back into 0. I'm going to take the key with us. It's all beeping and stuff. Hopefully that's okay. So we'll get out of our seat and we'll grab this thing, which looks like a walking stick, and we'll press the bottom left blue button, which will open the doors, and it should automatically close them. There you go. And we need to work out what points to set in order to put ourselves where we want to be. Okay, so this is hole 1, track 8. So if we follow this track back out of here, that's this one, we need it to shunt us over at that point. So we'll put that in, like that. And that will steer us to the right to take us into the hole. It all looks a bit weird when it crosses over. And then this one back here, we want to do the same thing because we want it to shunt us over again. So we'll click that on there. And that should be the point set. So that'll take us on the right track, and then that'll take us right again. I believe that's correct. Now, can we get him on this side? I don't think we can. No, I think we have to... I don't believe there's a driver button here. We'll have to go down the bottom end. And click the special button like that. And then click the red button to close. And we'll run down the bottom. Actually, let's just put this down. We don't need this now. So we put that back. There we go. Run back down here. And click on this. So the same thing. Open the panel up. Click. Hold mouse. Move to the right for clockwise. Hold down the button. And then while you're still holding it, press the Q key. And it works. It took me about an hour of playing around to get all this sorted. Because there are some weird things. And frankly, I don't speak German either. So even when I'm looking at the buttons and dials, I don't know what they're saying. Now, there's another confusing bit coming up. Which also stumped me a little bit. Which is where you get to the, in quotes, breaking point. And it says, like, stop at the breaking point, which you do, and then it says you'll see what I mean, right? Just pull forward. The English, I think, is what threw me. Okay, let's get ready to stop. 4 meters, 3, 2, 1, and stop. There you go. Park the train at the break point, which I still think is spelled incorrectly, and start the tram wash. And at this point, I'm like, what? But what I think it means is that it wants us to now go forward to another break point, which should probably just say stop point, and then we can start the tram wash. So, whilst carrying on holding the button, we'll move forward, and then, and only then, will the icon appear to tell us that yes, indeed, we should still be driving this way. Like that. I suspect there are many people who buy this DLC who will be completely confused by this. And I was one of them. Park the train at the end of the track. Right. But now comes the fun bit. We get to wash the actual tram. So just kill some speed. Kill a little bit more. And that should do it. Okay, we can let go of that now. So we are going to be driving forward out of here. So what we can probably do is make sure that's in the correct position. Remove our key. Close this panel because we don't need to drive this direction now. And we'll head down here. It says lower the pantograph and close all the doors. Now we can lower the pantograph. No problem at all. Before we do that, I'm just going to knock that back into... Looks like I put it in RA accidentally. That should be in 0. I'm going to knock the pantograph down, which is this button here. Now, this is going to kill the power to the train. Unfortunately. We'll click the blue button here, which will open that. They should also close, but we'll make sure. Pantograph's down. All the doors are closed. Safety check's done. Then we go to the panel. This is the only disappointing bit I found, because we don't actually get to press a button or anything. We just walk up to it and the cutscene begins. Now the number on the front of the tram you can actually set yourself when you start the mission. So that's an option. You can also, I think you can do this mission with different trams as well, so I think you can try the new ULF, the ultra low floor, and some of the other stuff. So I think you can do the same mission with different trams. Oh my god, the camera's wet! Not really sure what the point of that is. There you go, that's better. I mean, no, it's quite a fun little thing, isn't it? You probably only want to see this once and then never again, but it's kind of fun. I wonder how often they actually clean these things. What about... We're supposed to have a wash and a wax. What about the blow dry as well? No, you're just going to turn up with a chamois leather? Is that it? Wow. Maybe that's the blow dry. Maybe that's the wax actually that's being sprayed on that. That might well be the wax. Anyway, it's nice and clean now, right? There you go. And then we get dropped. Okay, park the vehicle. Drive the train out of the hall to the shunting worker. So we'll go back down here. Look how shiny that is. Look at that. Magnificent. Yes, I'm getting mixed up. The front's down here. My bad. Went to the wrong side here. Right, there we go. Let's get back in. Press E, close the doors. We shall put the key in. I don't know why the power's still on, because the pantograph has disconnected and removed the key, so technically speaking, that should completely shut down, so I've got a feeling that's wrong. But anyway, we'll continue. That doesn't seem to me like that's how it should behave. If I take the pantograph down and put that on 0 and remove the key out, surely the whole thing should shut down. Alright, clear the errors there by clicking on the OK. And then we should be able to drive forward. There is a speed limiter here, so if you want to like limit to 5, which is probably what you should do for this kind of work, but we'll just go 15 just to get a move on. But you can see it basically puts a little red line there. It's pretty useful for when you're driving the tram around town and you want to stick to the speed limit. Particularly because in Vienna there's a lot of like long downslope roads and you pick up a lot of momentum very quickly if you're not careful. So look how dirty that tram is. Drive the tram out the hall. We've just stopped for no reason. Okay. I'm not really sure what happened there. Maybe I mispressed something, but we just suddenly ground to a halt. I mean, in terms of the game itself, like, the graphics are really nice. It's obviously Unity, the sky's a bit rubbish, but the actual graphics are rather nice. I kind of feel like the pitch in this, though, is like a very... If you read the Steam description for the game itself, the pitch in it is a super detailed tram simulator, so you can fully experience what it's like to be a tram driver. However, I think when you go down that road, you also need to provide a very good manual and a very detailed implementation of the systems, and I don't think they're quite there yet. Stop that. Okay, park the car in Hall 2, Track 7. Shall I set the switches for you, or do you, so that you just have to push back? Right, we'll set it ourselves. But because I happen to know, what we'll need to do is we'll need to drive it forward a bit. Because we need to go, because we're in Hall 2 now, and this track here is Hall 2. You see that? This is the track for Hall 1. So what I'm going to do is move it around the corner. This bit's not on the road, so we're not going to be stopping any traffic. We'll just bring it around the corner here so that we can just set the points and reverse it straight in. Now, it's a bit of guesswork as to how far back we need to go, but I'm guessing it's going to be around about here-ish. Okay, so we've done that, so we'll put that into 0. We shall put that into off, take the key out. We're going to need to get out of here, grab this, open the doors, and go and set some points. Right, what we'll do is we'll run over to the hall and then work backwards. Although I do know that we need to push to the right here, so we'll set that up first. Because this is going to take us on the right track now, which is this one. So we're going to the Hall 2 track. Actually, that's wrong, isn't it? That's wrong! That is not. This is why you should work backwards, guys. So what I want to do is put that back. It's going to take us on the other hall. So this now goes to the right. No, this was right. Oh, Get myself in a right mess here. Let's push that one over. And then this one needs to go that way. There you go. So, we go straight on at this point here. Yep, we go straight on and then get punted over to the left. Which takes us onto the middle track, which should be Hall 2. So we come along here. Okay, I can't walk from... Why can't I walk into that? What the heck? There's an invisible wall. Oh, God. They've put an invisible box around the tram, and I can't walk further away from the tram, I don't think. Look. I can't even walk back over there now. I think there's like a 50, 100 meter... Oh, that's just so ridiculous. Okay, so what we'll now do is we'll now reverse the tram back so that I can go and set the rest of the points. How silly is this? But there you go. I guess it's their way of restricting how far you can move away from the tram, but yeah, that's a bit silly. Okay, so we'll open the key. Should be all familiar with how we do this now. So we'll just make sure that we should now go straight on and then left, and that should take us down the middle of these tracks towards Hall 2, which is exactly what we're getting. And we need to stop before we start going through any more points, which is basically here. So we'll stop there, and we'll quickly just jump out. Grab a walking stick. Oh, it's not going to let us get out now, is it? Probably because I've left the key down here. Oh boy. Okay, let's take the key back out. Close the panel, because you can't get out otherwise. I think I should have probably just let those the guys outside do this. Now we can do it. I think it's because the key was in. It wouldn't let us operate. Okay, so let's just line this up. We're going into track 7, which is this one. Track 7 comes along like this, which means it needs to shunt over at that point. Everything else should be straight on and fine. Yeah, so it's just the second to last one. That should be good. I should have let you do it, shouldn't I? Okay, jump back in there. Stick that in there for now. Close the door, because it probably won't let us reverse with the door open. Hopefully, we got this right. I tell you what, since we started, it's going dark quite quickly. I had it set on, put it on winter. I was kind of expecting snow, but what I actually got was basically kind of a winter's dark, rainy, wet kind of thing. I think I just broke the game. Or something. I'm not entirely sure. Did I set the points badly? No idea what just happened. Physics, maybe? That was a bit weird. Okay, well... you tell me what just happened, because I have no clue. Maybe I forgot to set some point on the ground and it kind of went a bit weird. So yeah, shunting, eh? Now you know why they have boys outside that do this stuff. Makes life a bit easier for them. Perfect. Shut down the vehicle before you leave the hall. Oh god. Oh god, we're moving. We're moving! Why are we moving? The train or the tram is haunted. Central key is still in the shunting console. Yes, it is. There we go. Wow, this is properly weird. Never seen that before. Right, we'll remove the pantograph. Take that back down now. And we'll put that in position 0, which it already is. I'm not sure if there's like a shutdown button for this. Maybe we have to put our key in and put it into position off or something. I mean, that's as shut down as I think I can make it. Maybe we have to put it in... I don't know, put it in emergency brake mode. There you go, lock up the train, right. Okay, don't know how we get out. There we go. Can we click that button? We just had it then. Anyway, it's done. It's done. Continue. Yeah. I think you can click that button to get out there. And it opens it. It's the driver's button. So that was interesting. That was the shunting mission in the new Depot Vienna DLC. A little bit of weirdness going on here, but overall pretty enjoyable. I do like the depot. It feels like a really nice addition to the Vienna map. However, we're still waiting for a free extension to the map, which doesn't appear to have come out yet. And I kind of feel like, although there's a lot of work here, I kind of feel like this stuff should be in the base game anyway. You know, I think the Vienna map should just be one thing, personally, and then you kind of buy the trams or whatever. I don't know. The way they've done it, it's a bit weird. So if we go back to the menu, I'll quickly show you. Driver report, points collected, blah, blah, blah. I'll quickly show you what missions you do get. So if you go for create new game, and then you go, let's see, start of shift. So you can do this like 60-minute one here that shows the start of a shift. You learn the simplified process to bring a tram from the depot to the track. And that's the shunting one we just did. And then there's the end closing time, which is the opposite of the startup one. So you're 60 minutes long again. Your last trip on line 1. And then you park at the train depot. So you get those with them. And also, they also just work on any tour that you might want to do. You can just go for an open tour and just create your own thing and have fun. Anyway, that's the DLC. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. It's certainly an interesting journey, wasn't it? Give me a thumbs up if you did. Until the next one, take care and happy training.